Adventurer for Life. I'm Joel. Day 6, Section 6 of the Northeast BDR. We stayed at the Hibbard House Inn in Bath, New Hampshire last night. That was Hugh and Judy, who are our hosts. Nice place. Franklin Pierce, the president from the, I think, later 1800s, after the Civil War, I believe, used to stay there. So they had the Franklin Pierce room. It was John, not myself, stayed in. So that was the thing of note. That house, I think they said the house was from 1860s or something like that. I don't know, but anyway, we're in New Hampshire. We're doing 220 miles today. No more Class 4 roads, because Class 4 roads are characteristic of Vermont. But we're going to do, I think, some roads that are quite similar to that. So we're going to end up in Gorham, New Hampshire today. Got a chance to get some rain this afternoon, tonight. Hopefully we're going to ride out of it and be out of its range. Time will tell on that. See you on the trail. So we got off pavement in pretty short order. We're just 2 or 3 miles from the Hibbard House Inn, and we're on to maintained and gravel roads. Much like what we've seen before. Got a little mountains in the distance kind of view coming out of these trees. I'll let it run till then. Unfortunately, got stupid power lines in the way. Clouds on the top of the mountain, so it's kind of nice. There you have it. And there, I don't know if you can see them, but there's 10 or 15 of them. There were some on the other side of the road too, but not a big deal. But we have seen a fair number of turkeys out here, just wandering the hills. The Swiftwater 1849 covered bridge. Isn't that cool? Now this one actually looks old, well maintained. Some friendly folks there from New Hampshire. Jim is from New Hampshire, so he's in his old stomping grounds. We had a short pavement section back there. There's some mountains off in the distance over this direction, but you can't really see them for the trees. But we're on another unpaved section. Tree line, canopy, green, 66 degrees. I think it's going to be another beautiful day, as long as the rain doesn't give us issues. Sun's out. I think it's a little cloudy, so that's indicative of the possibility of rain, I guess. But anyway, nice day. Just a little further down the road, but really nice canopy here. Of course, it's going to open up right up there where you see the sun poking through. But just you know, it's all pretty in Vermont and New Hampshire so far, and I'm sure that's the way it'll be the rest of New Hampshire. Again, we're ending up in Gorham tonight. Okay, so when you're on these mountain roads, you're almost always riding beside a mountain stream, and it's a little hard to tell, but there she is. You can see the rocks, you can see a little water. We just had a little narrow wooden bridge that we crossed. Anyway, you know, like I've said a bunch of times, not much water in these things because of the time of year or whatever, but and I just soon keep it that way. But anyway, something else to look at. Okay, here's the creek that we've been going down. Now, I don't understand. There's some water in this part of it, and earlier I couldn't see hardly any water at all. But here's the nice little flowing creek, and sure enough a truck comes by, and the wooden bridge and the downhill, and we got to move our bikes. It's amazing. We hadn't seen one single person out here, and sure enough here comes the truck, and we got to move. So probably 20-25 minutes have gone by since that last clip. I don't know if you can see it. It's a fairly steep decline over there. We've gotten on pavement, we've gotten back off pavement. There's the little creek, the requisite creek. There you see it down there if you can. You know, we're not that far above it, but that's cool looking. I mean, rocky and all that stuff. Anyway, 67 degrees now. About 10 till 10 in the morning. We got a little bit of a late start this morning, which wasn't too great for a 220-mile day, but we'll just see how it goes. Nobody's in any hurry here. Okay, this is kind of crazy. We've come up with this guy out in the middle of nowhere with this really, really cool car, and I'm obviously videoing him, and I think we're going to take a picture with him, or at least get his picture. Anyway, super cool. This is just bizarre. I mean, just out in the middle of nowhere. Maybe it's paved up there, I don't know, but maybe he lives back here. This is just 100 yards from where we saw the guy in the, he said it was a 1930 Ford. So I thought this may have been pavement right up here, but he said he lives back there, and he's driven his car up this road. I mean, wow, if I'd owned that, I don't think I'd drive it on this road, but of course if I lived on this road I wouldn't have much choice. But anyhow, it's again, they call it adventure riding for a reason, and that's just something that's pretty bizarre to me. We're about 45 miles into our 220-mile day, about 20 after 10 right now, 72 degrees. One of the thoughts I've had as we've driven through Vermont and now New Hampshire is, you've heard this saying, a little slice of heaven. Well, there are little slices of heaven all over. And I realize they're all over the world, but I've just, you know, as I've seen the places that people live and whatnot in Vermont and New Hampshire, there just really are a lot of little slices of heavens. People with, you know, on the side of a hill with a pretty view, or out in the woods kind of all by themselves with their rock wall or whatnot. And it's just again, really pleasant, really nice. We're not in any hurry, just relaxing and enjoying ourselves. Man, I'd like to know who put all those rocks. I mean, there are rock walls everywhere. That was a lot of work. So we're about 80 miles into our 220-mile day. We've been on pavement for a while now. There's a couple little twisties here, so it's not been, there hadn't been too much of note today other than what I've videoed already. Again, got the requisite stream and rocky stream next to us and whatnot. Pretty, as you can see, you know, up there. Clear day, nice day. Yeah, 78 degrees, so it's warming up. It's all good, pretty. Okay, we got a nice little lake off here, mountains in the distance. Little change of scenery. We've mostly been on pavement for the last, probably 30 miles would be my guess. Anyway, nice little area here. Got some kayakers. canoes, whatever they are. It's just now noon. Still 78 degrees, so I expect we'll be stopping for lunch pretty soon. I'm actually low on gas because I didn't fill up last time they did because I got a bigger gas tank. But anyway, nice day. Okay, we stopped along the way. Here's a little tiniest little bit of water. Again, there's not much water here these days because it's the dry season. But, you know, you can imagine this with tons of water coming over. Anyway, quick stop here. We'll be doing lunch shortly. Well, again, unfortunately, I missed it, but there was, we passed all these signs that have said slow children at play and all this kind of stuff. And because obviously, I guess people have figured out this is on the BDR route and motorcyclists go by here and sometimes they're not as respectful as they ought to be. Anyway, he just went by a house a little bit back there that it had the slow children at play, but it also had some homemade signs that said slow adults at play, and then on the same side it said drunk lives matter, and of course it had a stick figure of a person stumbling with a bottle of alcohol in their hand. So anyway, you can tell this is a real stretch of a day to find things to talk about video, but that was a little comical. That's about as good a view as we've had, probably. Unfortunately, lost it pretty quick, but I wanted to show you what I could. So we've hopped on Interstate 93 because we're gonna, it's the forecast. Woo, there goes somebody flying. We're going 70 miles an hour and he's going who knows how fast. Anyway, they're saying it's clear on top of Mount Washington. It's about upper 50s and it's not that windy. So we're hightailing it to Mount Washington to see if we can summit it. And because that'll be a good experience. You don't get too many opportunities to get good weather there. So I think they say it's 50 to 55 days a year. Anyway, you get to see some of the mountains in the distance here. So it's nice. And I'm looking forward to shooting some footage on Mount Washington. This is the Franconia Notch Parkway. So I'm assuming it looks like there's a notch in that mountain there and maybe from over here, so we'll see if that's what they're calling the Franconia Notch. Anyway, road narrowed down and slowed down, and somebody was going a tad too fast, it appears, or has a mechanical. Anyway, Franconia Notch. That prior clip was from looking into the notch, and now we're in it. So you got that bald face over there, a rock, and you got kind of this bald face of rock over here, and I'm guessing this is the notch. So pretty cool. I believe there may be a ski run up there, so there may be some ski resort or something over here, but Franconia Notch. Okay, so we just came down the Mount Washington Auto Road and we got to this pretty cool looking hotel. There's the Mount Washington Auto Road sign, and then there, I expect one of these two, I assume that one is Mount Washington. It's supposed to be 58 degrees, 13-mile-an-hour wind, so it's just not going to get much better than that here. And there's the old Mount Washington snow coach. And I did admire this motorcycle right here. That dude is loaded with stuff. I mean, he's got to be going on about a 4-year trip with all the stuff he's got on there. Anyway, I'll shoot some on the way up. Road is a steep, narrow mountain road without guardrails. If you have a fear of heights, you may not appreciate this experience. Oh my goodness. Sure, I'm glad I read that sign. $25. Here's the start of the climb. I did this 20 years ago in a car, I think. And it was 60, 70 mile an hour winds at the top and 30 something or other degrees in late May, as I remember. So this ought to be a tad bit nicer than last go round. Really pretty at the bottom here. As I remember, once we get the part of the way up, it's all the foliage is gone because of the coldness, maybe above the frost line, whatever it is that makes the foliage go away. So anyway, I'll certainly film that piece of it when we get to there. But twisty road, obviously, and people are going real slow, which is fine with me. But very green, very pretty. See, oh yeah, see, these people here are stopping because they've been riding their brakes, and we're probably a third of the way up the hill. They're 2/3 of the way down. They've been riding their brakes, and the brakes were smoking. So they're giving them a little break to cool them off. Traffic in front of us obviously going about, well, 20 miles an hour. It feels like 2, but hey, that's a pretty cool view out there to the right. Yeah, you can see they got lots of the road is really rough to make sure you got traction up here because of the cold weather and ice and snow or whatever it is they get up here. But so you can see the foliage is getting a lot smaller, and so we're getting to, I guess, it can't be the frost line yet, but well, I guess it is, because you see the trees have just all of a sudden gotten a lot smaller, a lot shorter, and you see that there's nothing on them on the side that's behind me right now, because I guess that's the direction the wind comes from. So you can see on this side there's no vegetation, and then on the far side there is vegetation, so the wind, I guess, just blows it off of the one side. And pretty cool. So you see the rocky fields up there and whatnot. There's a little patch of white up there. I don't know if that's snow or not, but anyway, this is pretty incredible. But there was another spot back there. It said winter cutoff, so I guess they only let cars go that far in the winter. There was also another group of cars that was stopping to let their brakes cool or whatever. Obviously, we'll be using engine braking on the way down. Looks like there's a ski resort right there. Bunch of runs. But I think we crossed over to the other side, so this is really cool. Okay, I'm at the top. You can see that we're fogged in, I guess, clouded in, whatever. You can see down here, you see the rocks right in front of me, and then those out there on another mountain. Unfortunately, my GoPro locked up again, stupid thing, on the way up the mountain, so I'll have to get the footage. I got the stuff where the frost line started, but once the clouds started, I didn't get that, but I'll get it on the way down. One thing you learn driving up a mountain like this is how many people there are on this planet that should not have driver's licenses. Newfound friends from Florida by way of India, or India by way of Florida, whatever. There's the tip-top house. There's some rocks. I guess that pile of rocks up there behind the flags is the real tip-top, and I guess this must be like some cog railway or something. So I didn't know they had this, but they do. Oh, let's take a look at this. Yeah, there's your parking area, whatever. There's the other guy's bike. My bike's over there behind the steps. But anyway, got a pretty clear view of the mountain over there. So Mount Washington, pretty cool. That pile of rocks is the summit. It says Mount Washington State Park. Mount Washington Summit, elevation 6,000 or something or other. And here's the line of people that I cut in front of to get that little video clip. But they're not unhappy about it. They don't even know I did it. Anyhow, we'll take a quick look over here and then I'll be done with all this. Trinity Heights Connector to Gulfside Trail. You know, it's possible the old Appalachian Trail may actually go over this part. Who knows? Anyway, we'll go over here, see what's up. Sorry. Pretty cool. Little fog. All right. People like piling up rocks up here. This little motorcycle contraption over here. It's kind of crazy. Besides that kid, a Ural. Look at that thing. That is something else. Pretty cool. All right, I'll get some of the descent. Okay, we're starting the descent, and oh, there's a beautiful view there. The clouds or fog or whatever the world it is. I think it's fog. So this will be fun. I'm obviously not going to try to do this with any kind of speed, although I'm also not going to go 9 miles an hour. Oh, there's the Cog Railway. That's cool. Good car too. I wish I had gotten a better shot of that train, but now you can't see it. Use lowest gear. Stop occasionally. Anyway, this will be fun. I didn't get it on video, but we followed this guy going, no kidding, 9 miles an hour up this thing. I'm going 35 right now, 34, and I finally had enough and passed him. All right, yeah, got a little fog, but we're gonna have a little bit of fun. I'm gonna keep it in second just in case. Oops, I accidentally crossed the yellow line. That's a joke. Really getting some good. Wow, this is something else. That was a lady on that one. She was scared to death. What beautiful views, though. Again, this is New Hampshire. I hate to compare it, but got what is it? Mount Scott, about 50 miles from my hometown. Has nothing like this, obviously, but a circle drive and a 1/10 as good as this is, but still fun to do. Oklahoma. Well, the fun begins because the fog is rolled in. This is cool. I mean, just a second ago you could hardly see the car in front of me. Looks like it's gonna come and go, but still, that was a little eerie, a little spooky, a little scary. It obviously was for the car in front of me going 12 miles an hour. I'm going 45. Fortunately, there's not too many people making the descent right now, or this could get real painful. A little more fog here. That we're getting below the frost line now. You see the trees are starting to come up here. I'm actually using my back brake a little bit, which I never do, but I'm always on my front brake because you get better braking, but I don't need great braking right now, and I'm going to burn my back brake just a hair. Mostly using engine braking, but when I do need a brake, I'm going to use the back, because all you need to really do is slow down a little bit here rather than stop or whatever, except when you get behind some clown like this. Oh my goodness. What are these people thinking? I guess they're extremely courteous. Be more courteous if they'd go. I'm gonna pass these bikers right here, which is good. These guys are going, I guess they're just enjoying the scenery, which is fantastic with me. I'm thrilled for them. This is awesome. 4 miles station now, so coming below the cross line, there was a place for water. People that's radiators were overheating, I guess, from the climb. This person has no clue who's on the road, and he's not very happy with me for passing. But you know, that's the way the world goes these days. Alright, so I'm going to slow down now because there's traffic in front of me. Anyway, that was fun. Well, like this guy in front of us, and you know, unfortunately everybody piles up behind them, and they going so slow, and they won't use the pull out and all that. So wow, that's what's scary, is people going like that. It's a lot more dangerous because they're burning their brakes up. Put it in low gear and just let it idle, for goodness sakes. Coming to the bottom, so I thought I'd give you a shot of this coming into home. Fortunately, there weren't too many people coming downhill, and I was able to pass them. I'm guessing the other guys got stuck behind some of them, the people, so looks like it's potty break time here. Anyway, we're going over to the hotel over there to take a break, and we're staying in Gorham, which we just now, Gorham, New Hampshire again, that we just now came through on the way here. So we're going to backtrack a few miles and spend the night there. So that's kind of cool. The original toll house opened in 1860. I'm guessing it wasn't $25 for a motorcycle in 1860. Hopefully it was $2 or 2.5 cents. Anyway, very enjoyable, man. If you ever get a chance to go up Mount Washington, again, you don't get that many days where you can do what we just now did, and it be semi-clear. So if you ever get the chance, take it. Okay, day's ending. We're pulling into Gorham, or actually I think we're leaving Gorham. I believe we're staying at this Town and Country Inn and Resort. 220 miles. Actually, I'm looking at my odometer, and it was about 200 miles because we skipped some stuff to get to Mount Washington. Fantastic day because of the Mount Washington trip. The other part of the ride was good, but the Mount Washington part really set it off. So yesterday's Class 4s was great, and today's Mount Washington trip was fantastic. So Gorham, New Hampshire, ending day 6, section 6 of the Northeast BDR. Day 7 tomorrow. Looking forward to that. We will see you then.